Good morning. I see Andy and Dawn are on here this morning, and this is a glorious morning. Sun must have went behind the clouds because now I'm darker than usual. Dawn's still waiting on a coffee, and I can't believe how early Andy was here. She's been here since 9:37. Okay, Andy, do your weather now. And Andy and Dawn, if you want to come up, please feel free. Well, come on up, Andy. Weather for West Plains conditions are cloudy with a temperature of 67. The wind is blowing from the west at 5 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 92%. Looks like you're getting ready to get some rain, Andy. Oh, Andy, Holistic Heritage, my friend Colin, he's in Missouri too. Well, that's okay. They can come up with you. Show you what kind of weather I'm having. I'm not sure. Good morning, Brandon. Hey, Buster. Blessed morning to you, dear. Well, as you guys know, Tuesday we processed 8 rabbits. My friend Bill is out of the hospital now. He had to have neck surgery after that fall. So he's running around with a collar, big old collar on his neck. So, good morning, Matt. Are you going live in about 12 hours? Okay, Buster, drive safely. Don't text unless you're stopped. In Irving, conditions are light rain with a temperature of 66 degrees. The wind is blowing from the southeast by 11 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 94%. You got the same humidity as Dawn has. Yes, as long as I'm back in time, most likely, yes. Wonderful. Now, in about 2 minutes, I'm going to show you guys a video that is very important to me. Good morning, Laura. Oh, man, I can imagine. Over 100 degrees there. And the weather for Yoshi is conditions are partly cloudy with a temperature of 67. The wind is blowing from the northwest at 14 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 51%. Things are going great. I processed 8 rabbits Tuesday. Dawn says she opened the door to check the trap for another groundhog, and 66 is cold. And so my neighbor that just came out of the hospital yesterday, I parceled up a rabbit for him and gave it to him. So he has a little extra something to eat at the end of the month. Yeah, 8 of them. And I gave away 2 rabbits and another one tentatively. Not from this bunch yet, Andy. I will parcel the rest of them out today because they've just been, today makes the 5th day that they've been sitting. See, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Today's the 4th full day. Laura, I have another litter that I will process out in about that same time frame. It's more likely 6 weeks. But anyhow, now I have cooked some food with the other rabbits that I processed before. Laura, I'll process anytime after 8 weeks. How big were your litters? My rabbits have been having 7 to 8 babies each. So you found your knack at butchering them. Oh yeah. You know, it was comical as I had someone helping me that was more experienced and I was keeping right up with them. Slightly ahead of him. Same here. I have a litter of 6. One litter of 6, and my youngest is 9. Oh. Well, I did for those 8 rabbits I processed of them. 7 of them were kits, and 1 was the bitch. But out of those rabbits, I got 15 pounds and 14 ounces. For me, that's plenty of meat. That means each one of them, after they were harvested, was over a pound of meat. And one rabbit will last me over 3 meals. But my troublemaking female is gone. And she was just she was a bit bigger than the others, but so she was probably about 3 pounds. I don't like white chili, so I don't think I'll be doing rabbit chili. I might try it as a regular chili and just use the meat because I think I'm going to grind up some of the meat. Laura, I have Havanas, which is a compact meat rabbit. Yeah, I know you got to grind it first, and I've got the grinder. I got the grinder for Christmas. That goes right onto my KitchenAid mixer. Good morning, Aaron. Oh, I went over here. Let me show you what I want to show everybody because I can do this more than once. There we go. Jennifer, we're talking about grinding rabbits. And look at that. Right after I get done playing, there you go to get your tickets. So I'm not babysitting a big golden retriever now because his daddy came home because Bill's out of the hospital after his neck surgery. He's got his son down watching him, helping take care of him. Oh, you did? Was there a problem with your quill, Laura? And Laura, are you coming to QuillCon? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Laura. But you know, you learn from mistakes. Mistakes are not failures, they're just learning opportunities. See, that proves it. Good morning, drunken chef. Wonderful. That's right. It takes 17 days from the day you get the eggs to get them hatched. And then 6 weeks later, you have chicks laying eggs. Laura, which ones did you order, if I may ask? Jumbo what? Jumbo Wilds, Jumbo White Wing Barrels, Jumbo Egyptians. Oh, Jumbo Mix. Okay. Gotta remember when you get that Jumbo Mix, some of them are not feather sexable. Hey, Chef, did you bring Summertime Heat back yet? Because I'm getting low on that one. Yeah, I love the white wings. The whites are not so much because it takes so long for before you can tell what sex they are that a hen can become murderous while she's waiting because there's too many roos in the cage. I guess the chef just dropped in and dropped back out because he didn't answer me. Last weekend, they're out of my silkies that I have. Congratulations. Your silkies had a 73% hatch rate. That's good. And I know Matt got some silkies from Gidros. I think some of them are fizzles with the funny feathers. Matt, are you still here? And some of them are fizzles, aren't they, Matt? Mine are silky showgirls and can't remember the last one. I got my first showgirl baby, and that is cool. I don't know the difference between one type silky and the other, but I know when the feathers are fizzles. Okay. So the showgirls are satins, huh? I just see her jumping around like a tiger. She's gonna pounce on her food, huh? One satin, one fizzle, and a regular. Is everything all right, Andy? Oh, showgirls. Some of them call 'em naked necks. Okay. Oh, you're gonna be away from. Oh, on vacation. That's understandable. Very understandable. You had me worried there for a minute, Andy. Yeah, summertime. A lot of people go on vacation i- and stuff. I can see that, Dawn. I can see that very well. Jennifer wants to know, does anyone know how to plant and care for sweet potatoes and other potatoes, please and thank you. Okay, I'm going to tell you, Jennifer, I'm going to show, in fact. Lucy, stop. Now, sweet potatoes, you take one potato, put it in water, and you'll get it to sprout like this. Now, since I'm just growing these for the rabbits, I haven't been taking them off because I've already harvested all the sprouts I wanted. And what you do is you gently pull this off the potato and put it in a glass of water until roots grow. Then you can plant it in your soil. And that's how you start sweet potatoes. Now, with white potatoes, as soon as they get eyes on them, you can plant them. It may take a while before they sprout out of the dirt, but they're pretty easy. I cut the potato in places. If you're sprouting from more than one area, the white potato, I will cut in between where the sprouts are so that I have two or three potatoes and set them on the table and let them air out until it seals the cut side, and then I bury them. But you could just take whole small potatoes that are sprouted and bury them, and that's how you do it. They're very easy to do because look at this is all growing for the rabbits. We have 50 Cornish rocks coming in next Wednesday. Oh, meat chickens. Andy needs to get away with everything she's been going through. Yeah, Andy does. I agree. Dawn, they look like vultures when they're first born. Once they dry out, they're really cute. Well, laughing at the vultures remark. Yeah, but sweet potatoes are pretty easy to start. And I've already had to pinch flowers off of one of my white potato plants, because I don't want it to flower. I want all the energy to go into the roots to form potatoes. I had planted 6 white potatoes and 21 sweet potatoes. So Jennifer's potatoes are easy. You can even start a sweet potato. You can start those early if you wanted to. Right now it's a little late in the season, but it's still doable depending on where you're at. Yeah, you just pinch off the flowers because you don't want the seeds, the energy of the plant to go into seed making. You want it to stay right into the root making. So that way you get the more potatoes. My freeze dryer's been running non-stop since Tuesday. Oh, okay. It's still too cold here to plant a garden. I have my greenhouse done, but I have to cover it at night. 24 yesterday morning, 29 this morning. A bit chilly for a garden. But you might be able to start your white potatoes. I would go ahead and put sweet potato on um, in a jar with water. You want just end of the potato to touch the water so that it make the roots grow. I'm sorry, but I don't know you, so no StreamYard link for you. The reason why I said I wasn't planning anything this season, I won't be here to take care of it. Matt says he's listening and cleaning away because there's a possible chance my mother might visit today. Oh, that's cool. No, you only put the tip in water so that it generates shoots. And then when the shoots get, at least this tall, 10 to 12 inches, then you gently pluck that off the sweet potato and put it and take the bottom leaves off and put it in a jar of water so to grow roots. Then you plant that. They're called potato slips. Hold on, you're getting a lot of rain. Yeah, and you had some tornadoes in your area, if I remember correctly. No, Jennifer, you can plant the whole white potatoes or golden potatoes. The sweet potatoes, you only plant the slips. Laura says she's going to try something new this year with her potatoes. I don't plant much. I'm going to plant in a 50-gallon barrel, and I'm going to plant just the sprouts. If it doesn't work, I'm not too worried. White potatoes or sweet potatoes? You want to come up, Buster? I had Rain just pop up because he was on the mower this last time, and he can get done with the backyard. No rain was in the forecast at all. Yep, that's how the weather's been doing. Okay. Buster, that's unusual for you. I didn't think it was. Let me get rid of this guy. Buster, tell me that you were here still, the real Buster. I know who that is. That's a porn bomber. Let me find the guy in the chat so I can get rid of his other name. I can't find it right now. Yep. I'm just making sure. I want to make sure. Buster, please say something. Okay. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, the other guy, that's the one that porn bombed me before. No, I kicked him out, Andy. I kicked him out. I banned him from the channel. Now he'll come in and use other names that and try to pretend like he's like he did with Buster. Because last time he did it on Sugar, Bayou Sugar Garden or Sugar Homestead. There's only one Buster, yep. And I was going to ask him a certain question. Exactly, Don. You know, Eddie, you're probably right. Little boys that want a mama. Okay, let's get off that subject and get back to homesteading and self-sufficiency. And on that thought, I am going to. There we go. What do they call them after millennium? What came after millenniums? Okay, Generation Z or Generation Alpha? No, Andy, don't shut your mouth. I need the laughs. I just have to watch mine. Good morning, Elliot. How are you this day? We had a troll in here. Andy, if you shut your mouth, then I'll quit laughing. You make me laugh a lot, and I like that. You got your new Lee press. Cool. I agree. I agree, Matt. Wasn't that the press you were working on yesterday? Yeah, were you working on that yesterday on your live? And Andy, I agree with what you said. Yeah, see, I remember I was there. Right now, I have a cancer stick in my hand. I don't like to show it to the kids. But anyhow, when the sweet we covered processing rabbits, we covered potato slips. That is great. That's to make your ammunition, right? Would you like to come up a little bit, Elliot, and tell everybody about your channel? I didn't notice there was a typo until you said it. Okay, get when you get some coffee, let me know that I'll send the link out uh, just long enough for you to grab it, and then I'll delete it again. Now, you know where Elias from by his initials to his name. My pleasure, Elliot. I have to tell Erica I'm live. So, my peppers plants have already got peppers on them. I got a bunch of flowers on my tomato plants, those mortgage lifters, and I'll be glad when they start producing. And my beets are starting to grow. I haven't planted my carrots yet. Oh, your lime tree has flowers too. Nothing on the kumquat yet. Cool. That is great. I got to open up the windows in the rabbit room today because it was cold enough that I didn't want the babies getting chilled. I got to move rabbits around. And for some reason, Bucky is shedding really badly. I think I'm going to be moving him up to a higher cage so maybe he gets more light. Maybe that'll help him. It's finally getting up to 80 today. Oh, he's been shedding for over a week. I mean, he got his cage clean last night, and this morning that tray is full of gray hair. Even though he's black, he's shedding a lot of gray, so it's his undercoat. Yeah, Dawn, that looks like a great idea. I'm going to get more coffee too. Well, that would be cool, Andy, if he turned to brown. But I've got some black babies now that are very interesting looking. I got some blues, and I've got less broken this time than the last litter. Let me see here. Yeah, I think that's what I told. Bill's son cleaned out my cages for me yesterday, and he about killed his dad, making his dad laugh so hard because he thought all that hair in the bottom was mold. We had to tell him, no, the rabbits are shedding. That it was fur, not mold. And that about killed me. Yeah, and I've got some water bottles that I got to put in the freezer and see if they like those when it gets too hot in here. I've got other brushes that I could use. I just have to get him out and let me hold him. Got to take my little garden chair into the rabbit room and sit there and hold him and brush him. Have to do the same thing with Lucy. She needs brushed too. But I've got some brushes for rabbits. Let me get them for you so I can show you. There's the clippers. See, I have two different styles. I rearranged my rabbit area yesterday. Add another 6 whole cages and set up my automatic watering system. Well, I don't have an automatic watering system on mine. I have those 32-ounce flip top bottoms. It's supposed to be no leak. And anybody tell you they're no leak, they're full of themselves because they do leak a little bit. And I'm having a problem with flies right now. Yeah, everything leaks. So I got in their tray, I got little bowls to grab the water when it leaks, and then I empty it out once or twice a day. So what are you using, Laura? Well, that's a good idea. But if bad came to worse, I'd just use Lucy's brush because that's easy to clean the fur out of it when it's done. And my Fitbit says I need to get up and walk, but it's gonna. I'm not going to. Well, welcome back, Matt. That internet going in and out is nothing new to us. Well, that's cool. I did too, Jennifer, until I got the no cut J feeders, and those are heaven sent because the rabbits don't waste that much. That's what I'm using. Laura is the no cut J feeders. Yeah, that saves some time. But with my system, it's easy for me to just fill up jugs of water. Now I have 6 jugs of water in the room on a shelf, and it's just easy for me to fill those water bottles up. But today I'm going to be spending time sexing some rabbits. The male rabbits that I'm not going to keep, I'll put on the bottom cage of the um, tower that I have for feeding. Good morning, Joseph. Better late than never, dear. We don't keep attendance. Okay, I don't know what you mean by harvest right. Freezing water, I use dog bowls from the Dollar Tree. We drill a hole on the rim and zip tie them to the cage. As soon as the freeze is over, I start the water system right back up. But Joe's, I'm going to play that video one more time, you guys. Hold on. Ready, set, here we go. There we go. Oh, the Harvest Right freeze dryer. Okay, Matt. We were talking about watering systems, then you said about the Harvest Right, and it kind of blew my mind because I'm thinking that hatching time is what I was thinking about because we were talking about cages and watering systems. That is August 31st and September 1st at My Shire Farm, which is in Miamisburg, Ohio. And Matt was there last year for the very first time, and it was great. He was surprised by the scenery and everything because he's from the desert. Here you go, Joseph. I'll paste the link now instead of waiting for Nightbot. That's where you can get all the tickets and everything. Yeah, once you go to QuilCon, whether you like it or not, you become part of family. And there's my cuz. In 91 days, so get your tickets now. I keep my watering system running as long as I can till a freeze hits, and then as soon as it thaws, I get going again till the next freeze. And each year, Joseph, each year is better than the year before. And I know because I've been to every single one. Good morning, Nikki. A family of black sheep. Well, you know what? That makes the white ones. You don't have to camp. You can get a hotel if you want to. There are some hotels that are close by. When is your surgery date again, Dawn? Don't be sorry, Joseph. Be glad. See, Matt stays in a hotel. He's too far away to drive and camp. Yeah, Matt. Well, you'd have to bring a tent for him and his family because I think his whole family's coming. So it has to be big enough for 4 people, I think. Yeah. August 6th. Yay. So my neighbor Bill got out of the hospital. He went a week after he went in. Yeah, if I'm correct, I think he said his whole family is coming. Well, Joseph, what state are you in? Because we got to have people come from California. We have people come from Canada. We had a couple people from Mexico. You're in Oklahoma? Well, Matt's in New Mexico. Katrina from Solitaire is in California. And Andy's in Missouri. Well, some people are taking a plane. And we got people coming from Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri. Yeah, so you can fly um, to a couple of airports that are close to Miamisburg. Yeah, Chris from Slightly Redneck is pretty much on the Oklahoma border. And there's Elliot. Okay. Hello, Amy. Okay, here you go, Elliot. As soon as you show up, I will delete that link. Have you started on the map yet, Steve? Cool, Amy. Did you get the camping pass too? I get excited. I'm getting lightheaded. Oh, and I will have rabbit jerky at QuailCon. Well, that is cool, Amy, that you got a few celadon layers. Yeah, 13 hours ain't bad. Okay. So you just live an hour away. That's cool. And Andy's 10 hours away. Good morning, Elliot.
Good morning, Vay. How are you doing?
You can call me Verna.
Verna? Okay. Just call me Elliot, as usual.
I always do.
I know. I'm halfway. I just got up, everyone, so I'm kind of sleepy. I usually don't go live when I'm drinking coffee this early. So I apologize for being sleepy.
Well, why? I always look sleepy. My glasses, look at my glasses hide my baggy eyes.
I do that with sunglasses sometimes, Verna. I wear shades like Blues Brothers and to hide it.
I don't really
uh,
try to hide it. I
mm,
I've had baggy eyes all my life, even as a
mm,
child. They're
mm.
allergy eyes.
Yeah, I have allergies too. I'm not really hiding them. I'm actually when I do live streaming, uh, sometimes your eyes can wander and it makes it look funny to the audience. So the sunglasses hide that. It makes it look like you're looking at the people all the time, even though you may be looking, over there. So I learned that from a big YouTuber over a decade ago. Uh, he taught.
I figure like this. I am myself. Everybody either loves me or hates me. I don't care either way.
Good for you. Yeah, I'm same way, really. I want to be liked, but hey, if you don't like me, that's fine. That's their problem. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Great to be here with you in the side chat. You and Hillbilly Chicken Ranch and I am Betty J. Gathers are the only. Well, I'll take that back. Belt Loop has had me on. Those ladies have invited. They've invited me on, but I haven't went on yet. They always told me I was welcome, and so I appreciate the invite.
Matt says he loves to drive. His issue with the man telling me I can't have enough time off work. The man keeps me down. So that's why he has to fly from New
Mm.
Mexico to QuailCon.
Oh, okay. If you see me looking around like this, what it is, I can't hardly see when my eyes are bad. I can't hardly see the side chat, so I tend to read the highlight at times.
Well, that's great. We don't care that you look around because everybody knows I look around a lot because I'm thinking a lot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Elliot, now while you're up here, I'm going to disappear for a few minutes. I want you to talk to people about what your channel's about.
Oh, okay. Uh, Thank you for allowing me
And
to.
type in um, exclamation point quail, and it'll drop your link.
Uh, Hold on, I'll do that. If I can remember how to spell quail, Quail.
IL. Yep.
Okay, yep. Let's see, explanation.
It'll tell you in the feed down below. Type
Okay.
exclamation point quail. It just showed it just as I said it.
You think I know that because I used to hunt quail on 20 acres I lived as a kid.
Well, most of us raise quail. I was raising quail for about over 5 years, then I became allergic to them.
Oh, wow.
I'm allergic to, well, I knew I was allergic to chicken dander, but
Mm-hmm.
it took over 5 years before quail dander became a problem.
Mm-hmm. I have a ton of allergies too, Verna. From started experiencing it probably in my 30s, but I won't go there. Appreciate you giving me this chance. I've been reloading. I think I'm not the oldest guy in our community, when it comes to the reloading experience or the most experience. But I've been reloading almost a decade now. I got into it for the reasons I tend to have a prepping mentality, self-sufficient type mentality, like your channel says. So I started. My first channel actually got dropped. I was grandfathered in everything, monetization, all that. And it accidentally got deleted, and I didn't know how to get with at the time to get with YouTube to recover it. So I had to start another one. I think in 2021, and so I lost some, not a lot of subs, but I still lost some people. But I bought my first AR-15 to tell you all the story of what got me in it. I bought my first AR-15. If anybody knows, they're semi-autos. I bought it for hunting and self-defense and stuff like that. They're not an assault weapon. They're AR stands for Armor Light Rifle. It's a sporting rifle. It's nowhere near like the military, so let's do away with that. It's not an assault rifle, even though the media says it is. It's so mild that actually even 7-year-old children can shoot it and be taught. My great-grandson shoots it. I think he started shooting about 8 or 9 years old. His stepdad got him doing it, and I got him to doing it. If you ain't careful with reloading, you can go down what they call a rabbit hole. It can end up costing you a lot of money, but it doesn't have to be that way. I regret that I did that, and I bought a bunch of expensive presses, and because being influenced on YouTube, in the reloading community. But I bought a Lee here recently, and it's a Lee turret. It's 4-station, and I will show you all before I start talking about it. Let me get the camera on it for just a second. Bear with me because it may get a little wobbly. There is the Lee turret. It's not a single stage. It'll do 4 processes of the reloading thing with a pull of the handle, and the head will rotate, just like you just see it move right there. It cost, at one time it was like $100. It was very affordable, 140, I think, pre-pandemic. Now it's 180. Sometime you might get it for 169, the turret, and it's not. At one time, I probably wouldn't have asked reloaders or give them the advice to start out with a turret because it does 4 things, and new reloaders typically need to learn to do one step at a time. But you can use this as a single stage press and do one thing at a time. Set one die up and only use that one die. So there's several ways to do this in the reloading. Progressive, which is a auto indexing, and it's actually bigger and more expensive than this. It's around, 12. Time you deck it out, you're probably talking $1,300, $14, maybe more. I have that too behind me. It's a very expensive press. This here is just a turret, so it's a little more affordable. So I highly recommend a turret for anyone that's interested in starting out in it, especially for pistol. As you see here, I have. At one time, I would not have recommended Lee because they can be a little plastic. They have plastic on it, and they're not quite as they're not made as to a higher quality, not necessarily quality, but material wise. You would that is. It's kind of a lot of people. My brother used to tell me back in the 80s. He said, "You ought to reload, get in reloading." I've looked up the rock chucker, and I go. He said, "It's solid, real strong," and it is. RCBS makes it. And what about Lee? I asked him this here even 10 years ago, and he said, Lee's kind of a cheaper. But really, Lee works good. I didn't buy this press recently because I wanted to have content for any kind of live show. I bought it because I like the process of it, and that's what matters. I have a bad injury in my mid-back. Makes it harder for my left arm to do things. Also, I have a neck injury. So this here, I can do it with one hand, which is the right hand. So it right arm, that is. And here's the other head already set up. So once you set that your 4 dies, and the dies for pistol typically come in a set of 4, you're ready to go. You never have to set it up again. But I advise new people to practice setting up your dies because you need that experience. Because you'll forget if you buy it, you start setting up dies, you'll kind of forget. I advise new reloaders to get books and several different reloading manuals. Wear safety glasses. You can get into it. I'm trying to think of the price, what it would cost minimum. This press, I paid $2 for it. So you're talking, you'll need a trimmer if you do rifle brass. You don't need a trimmer with pistols. So you could start out actually cheaper if you just got a handgun per se. You don't trim pistol brass typically. So for anybody that wants to save some money, things have went up really extremely high since 2010 on components. Right now, several companies, Alliant Powder, they're not even going to make powder. They're having trouble getting the components to make the product. So that's going to be a shortage here soon. At one time, pre-pandemic, you could get primers for $1,000 we call a brick. And I'll show you a brick of primers. It's $1,000. You could get this for probably $32. Now this same thing is $69 on sale. And can be $100 to $125. So things have gotten really high, but you can save a lot of money if you're interested. On certain calibers, you'll save more than others. At one time, for example, 9mm was so cheap you could basically, it cost you probably a little more to reload it than it was, that you could buy brand new. You could go to the store and get like Winchester white box. I see Don S says something there. Oh, hi, Olin Winchester here is making everything for overseas. They are not allowed to sell to the stores here anymore. Well, that's a shame. I haven't heard that one. And I try to keep up with this stuff. I know we're really in a mess right now. And we are having primers. At one time, we couldn't even get primers during the pandemic. It was just, if you did get it, it was very high. So costly, it wasn't even worth it. I didn't buy any during the pandemic. I did buy one box of this for 32 plus tax, or 35, right when it first hit. So I was lucky there. So I advise anybody when they start out reloading, if you can get something on sale, go ahead and buy bulk if you can, and save money right quick. And just be careful with this hobby. Well, I don't like to call it a hobby, but be careful with it, because you can go down a rabbit hole and it can end up costing you a lot of money, because you kind of want to see a new toy and you'll go, I want that toy. And you end up costing you a lot of money. And I don't want new reloaders to go through that like I've went through it, and a bunch of us have went through it. Just get you a Lee press. You can get the kit, but the scale, I don't like the scale quality in the Lee kit. You can get this press and a kit now, I think, for $279, $289. I didn't, because I got everything on this. I'll try to watch the side chat if you have any questions, because I can barely see you, the right typing. But I didn't go that way. I didn't do the kit. I bought the press, etc., bought the trimmer, bought the primer device. And now you can prime on the press, but you wouldn't believe this. Some of my more expensive presses here, which cost now probably $400 each, they don't prime on the press that well, even though they're designed for it. It's like an afterthought. So it ends up tearing up your primer, crushing it. But I'm going to tell you, this little Lee, for the money, I tried it the other day in the live that Vernon's talking about, and it's just bam. You just put the little primer in with your hand, and it also comes with a little plastic thing you can put here for, I think, $27, and you just push it and put the primer in it. It has a little adapter here that you can stick in here, and you can do it manually. This is what they call a primer cup, and you can put a primer in there, and you can prime your brass on the downstroke on the press. And believe it or not, this Lee press primes better than any press I've ever seen, any press that I've ever owned. And I got 5 presses here. I know I'm crazy for having 5 presses. That bothers me. I may sell some off, but I have a need for all my presses. They kind of serve different purposes somewhat. But you can't beat Lee to start out. I highly advise it. They say Richard Lee is the guy that started this company. He has got more people into reloading than any press manufacturer there is. I do Redding. I have a Forster press, and I have a Dillon 650 press, which is the progressive expensive press. It does 600 rounds an hour, maybe, I'm thinking, if you're cruising just right and know what you're doing. So it's really good if you're in a hurry, you want to go to the range and, get some brass going. But I highly recommend this, even still, if you're interested in reloading. If you like working with your hands and you think prepping and have that mentality, self-reliant, you can do your ammo with a saving, especially on self-defense calibers. You can food saver wrap it. You can put it in ammo cans with a little desiccant thing you can buy for like $10. And so ever since I started 10 years ago, I store in ammo cans. I load, put back. I take some and, of course, and go shoot. I am in the process now of doing some 4,500. And my brother, we're going to go to the range hopefully in a few weeks or a month or so, and we're going to shoot some of this stuff that I'm loading now. He actually bought him the 500 pieces of Starline brass. I recommend Starline because they're very affordable compared to other brass companies. So I'm loading 9mm, and for him, I'm loading 40 S&W. I actually got this head set up for 9 because I wanted to see how cool it was to have 2 heads ready to go. I can swap my 40 here. This is what I was using during the show, and I was doing dummy rounds on. As you can see, 4 things are on that, what we call dies, there you go, clear, are on this head. And this head's all about $12 to $18, 18 on Amazon, 12 at Midway USA. So this here makes you where if you feel like you want to reload some, you can just go plunk this down in your press, and you've already got it set up and you're ready to go. You just get your brass out, your bullets, and bam, it's so easy. That's why I got it. Not that I'm lazy, I'm more efficient. I like to hurry up and get into it. So you all, if you're interested in this, check out Lee. I highly recommend them. I'm trying to think of the price it would cost you. I'm saying somewhere between, after you buy the powder and not counting the powder and primers and the brass, maybe $300 to $500 range to get into it. You can do it slow, buy like I did, buy you a press, wait, save you money, buy you a, for example, buy you a Lee powder hopper, which I haven't got mine yet for this press here yet, which I'm going to. It's $65. Now another hopper, which right there, that's a $200 hopper right there from Redding. It's very expensive for new people and beginners. I don't recommend it. And it doesn't, believe it or not, it don't throw as accurate as some of the Lee affordable powder hoppers. And so do it that way where it won't cost you a lot of money. And I appreciate Varna for allowing me on here to talk with you all. I think, who is it? Freedom Redbird one time said she was interested maybe in doing reloading. I can't teach reloading in live streams on my channel. I do shooting. That's what my channel's about. I do reloading. We have to do disclaimers. Sometimes I forget the disclaimers, but I say we load dummy rounds. You can't build guns on YouTube anymore because of the rules. They're so strict. Matter of fact, a few weeks ago, I had a guest, which is a good guy. He was actually pointing to an AR-15, a rifle. I don't remember what it was now. And during a live stream, it wasn't me. He was just pointing to it, but it looked like the depth of field that he was touching it. YouTube pulled my live stream down and gave me a verbal warning. Yeah. And I've never had that done. And he sent me some things I won't get into as a joke. His name is Hasbro. He's a great guy. And I've had some of the most wonderful people in this reloading community that's actually sent me brass. Matter of fact, I got some homemade bullets here. It's called lead cast bullets, and it's called powder coated. So it doesn't lead up your barrel on your gun. You can shoot this in even new guns, nice guns. That's something we'll get into later. But he sent me, I haven't done an unboxing yet. He did these. These are handmade projectiles, just a bullet, not the whole case, lead that he sized. I think it's probably for 40 S&W. And you can save a lot of money if you cast your own bullets and get into that hobby. That you do with the wheel weights. You go outside and you melt them in like a frying pan or a cast iron skillet or what do they call those pots? Those big cast pots. Pardon?
Cauldrons.
Yeah, and you can get one with a lid. Dutch oven. That's what I think about too.
Yeah,
you can get those, and you can, if you cast, you'll save a lot of money in reloading because you can make pistol bullets, even rifle bullets for put back and stock it for hard times, and you can use it for hunting. You don't have to have an expensive bullet to go out and rabbit hunt and quail. Quail. I don't do shotgun. I don't know if I'll ever get into that because I've already tied up so much money in this hobby already, and. But I have been thinking lately, why on earth did I not start out with a Lee product? Because I was like everybody else. I thought, well, Lee's not that great of a quality. They're kind of cheesy. They got plastic parts, etc. I've heard people rail on this press 10 years ago that bought it and they weren't mechanically inclined and they would just trash it on YouTube. Well, I bought it and I did get a defective one. I'll admit that. Their quality sometimes can be kind of cheesy. But I said, okay, sorry.
Matt, can you tip your hat at me? Matt? That isn't Matt.
Oh, somebody's trying to come in?
That isn't Matt. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I've heard they do that in these shows. Boy, I was in a show here a while back last year where that happened. I went, whoa. We typically, in our community, we don't put links in the side chat. We typically do email, but I have did that when I first started out.
That's Munger Munger. He's banned from the studio. I knew it wasn't Matt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see,
Dang
camera is
porn
breaking.
bot.
Mhm.
Dang porn bot.
But anyway, I do shooting, camping, I do prepping, all that stuff. That's what my channel's about. And I also build AR-15s and AR-10s. I haven't built my AR-10 yet, but I have built my upper and I've built lowers. I also recently bought a whole bunch of more gunsmith gear, which I think I spent probably hundreds of dollars on. It's not that expensive. The pieces aren't, but time you buy them, it all adds up. And so I built. I'll be able to build my own AR-15s at this point. So I build those, and I'll put those on Rumble. So if you ever want to watch my content on rifle builds, I haven't got it up there yet. I'm gonna start doing little short snippets of rifle builds on YouTube, and then tell you and put a link in the video. You can go to Rumble and watch the whole thing. But on teaching, a lot of you new people, I know Verna has an interest in learning how to do this. I can't teach you live, but I can say I'm setting up this one die, and I could probably slip in, how I'm setting it up, and kind of watch me, through the stream. But what we could do, and I thought of it the other day, we could all do a private, not go live stream of anybody that wanted to learn it, and I can tell you everything step by step without going live. It'll still be a live stream, but it'll be on the background.
Right.
On the backside, that's what I mean. I'm a little afraid if I teach you step by step, they'll take they'll probably give me a channel strike on it.
Right. Whereas you go on live stream and go on the back where it's just the two of you and you're not, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or how many? Like if you want to get some friends, right, guys, ladies that you let me know, Verna, and I will be glad when I got time. And I'm retired. I'm a little busy with trying to get my car up and running now, but we'll go do a live thing, kind of like a hangout, and go on the backside, and I'll explain it step by step. And also watch videos on YouTube. Believe it or not, there's some. Be careful who you watch though, because some are not as good as others. They're not as good as teaching, and they'll kind of confuse you. And so it's a good thing. Even though it's high priced, the components are now, you still save money. And the ultimate savings is when you cast your own lead bullets, and you can get in casting probably for
okay,
$300.
Nikki's asking, are you under the same name on Rumble?
I am under AR Guns 1776 on Rumble. Yeah, so it's a little different. My channel was AR Guns 1776. I didn't like the idea of guns being in it because I think the algorithm hurt me. And I was in, I think it was Hillbilly Chicken Ranches. She's homesteading, and I said it might be good if I get the guns out. So I did it on my main channel, but I still go by, if you'll notice my thing says AR, but it used to say AR Guns, and it still does. Some of my avatars do, or thumbnails do. Like the one now I'm using, custom screen printing made that. It says AR Guns 1776. But I don't have any how-to videos on Rumble, but I will get within the next month or so. I hope I get time when my car gets out of the shop. I'm going to do a few little trips around town and have fun in my car. And I'll still come in here and do some streams. I'll be glad to sit down with anybody on a live stream on the backside and help you out. But do Lee. You can afford Lee. Lee is very affordable. And but if you let your eye wander, you like me, you like every new toy you see, it can get expensive. You can spend thousands of dollars on reloading.
That's part of my problem.
Mine too.
If I want it, I look at my budget. Can I afford it?
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way, Verna. Absolutely. I apologize for being kind of sleepy-headed. And believe it or not, Verna's the only one I actually went live with right when I got up in the morning. I usually won't do that. I go, no. But I need to reach out to people when they have an interest. And she did seem to, she spoke up and said she wanted to learn it. And I thought, oh, great. Because that's what it's all about. If we don't keep teaching this and new people get into it, it could die off one day. And not only that, the government wants to do away with it anyway. They want to control it to where, sorry to get political, I won't say anything outside of that, but they want to control, and maybe one day to even buy the presses, and your components. Who knows what they'll do? They'll want you either to do a background check. Who knows? We don't know what the future holds.
Right.
But So
Okay, Howie, have a blessed day and enjoy that ice cream.
is Holly
Sorry.
Fast Food Forest?
Howie is food forest permaculture, yes.
Nice to meet you, Holly. I see
Howie.
you. Holly?
No, Howie. Howie.
Oh, Howie. Okay. Okay, gotcha. I've only got, believe it or not, I can only get one earpiece to work this morning, and I don't know why. One channel. I don't know what happened overnight when my PC was sitting here.
And
For some
then
reason.
Short Pickens Quail is Nikki.
Nikki, nice to meet you,
Uh-huh.
Nikki. But I'm about prepping too, and I don't talk. Years ago, I've been streaming almost 3 years, live streaming. Matter of fact, I went. I jumped in. Well, I had a channel and had I think 140 subs in my original. Like I was telling you, I jumped in with a guy named Echo in Florida. I was listening to him one day, and I bought me a camera, and I jumped in kind of cold feet. I became his co-host. He became mine, and pretty soon we were each other's admin. And I learned. I was nervous. I was. My first stream was kind of like audio. I went out there one day and I said, test. I had a little Logitech camera. I went to Sam's Club and bought for $50. And I thought, I don't know about this. This is going to be different going live in front of people, you know. And when I was young, I was bashful and shy. My brother still is. Me, I got over it time I was 16 years old. I decided I didn't want to be bashful and shy. So, and even in our community, a lot of guys that come on, they want to be their little thumbnail. They don't want to show their face, which that's okay. You know, if you come on my channel, I don't mind if you want to do that. But I will have to verify you, down there definitely, because I don't.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but typically, like I say, if you want to go on live with me, I'll send you. You give me your email, and I'll send you a direct link. Typically, is what I'll do. If you have any questions, I don't. That's what I do. I build rifles. I love cars. I love camping, fishing. And it's exciting, Verna, and you all to make your first bullets and cartridges and go shoot it in your gun. Believe it or not, it's kind of fulfilling. You go, wow, you know.
Yeah, what I'd like to get hold of is a crossbow pistol.
Oh yeah. I would love, Verna, to have a crossbow. Period. Maybe what is it? Excalibur. Oh man, back when it used to, one time you get a great Excalibur probably for $700-800. Now, them things are like $1,300, $1,500, $2,000 now. But I would love to have one. I don't want the pistol. I want the actual crossbow. I live in a neighborhood, so I can't shoot 500 feet from my house. But I got a farm over here that nobody goes into, and my woods. I got tons of woods behind my house, so I could step into the edge of it there, do a little baiting on my property, and I could use a crossbow during deer season. But I can't get out there with a rifle, and shoot. I could end up getting myself in trouble. So I stay away from the.
See, around here, I can't practice a gun because I live in the city. In fact, I'm right outside of the downtown area.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any? Do you go to the range, Verna? Do you ever shoot?
I can't stand loud noises. That's why I would have to have a crossbow.
Okay. Have you ever?
I have PTSD.
Okay, got you. Do you think you could handle one of those like muffs? They're like $40. It actually you can hear people talking, but gunshot it muffles down, like kind of like you got, except it's made for firearms.
I could probably handle that.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty good.
I can't drive since I had my accident.
Mm-hmm.
It's irresponsible for me to drive as it would be for me to drive drunk.
Okay.
So I had to. So I gave up my driver's license.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did the wreck? Is the wreck what caused you to have PTSD?
It was It's multiple concussion.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
And I had that in December 2010.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, that's sad. I hate to hear that. My mother was in a wreck in the late 70s, and it with a friend here in Georgia. And she constantly did headache powders, had headaches all the time. Back then, the chiropractors were more trained. I'd met one in 74 when I was like 20 years old. My brother took her to him, and after a decade of using headache powders all day long, and that stuff's not good for you. It'll tear your stomach up. He cracked her neck, I think, 3 visits. She never had another headache, never took another powder for the rest of her life.
Well, mine wasn't from a car accident. Mine was an accident where I slipped on ice.
Ooh.
And my head hit the ground 3 times before my body landed.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, so it was a multiple concussion. That was the same as baby shake syndrome.
Mm-hmm. I used to have a big lab, but it kind of ties into your story. 92 pounds, half English. I was in the backyard one day, and he seen something in the backyard. He even thought garbage bags was out of the ordinary. He would just lunge. And I had him on a leash. He snatched me, and I'm 6 foot 200 pounds, 6'2". He snatched me off my feet. My left shoulder hit the ground. My left hip and my head hit the ground, and it sounded like my brain cracked. I mean, boom! And I went, whoa! And it affected my hip for I think still to this day it bothers me. And one time he snatched me through the front porch, and I got a scar right here, and my arm was underneath me. He pulled me right through the front door and dragged me across my concrete. That's how strong he was. And
well, you ever tell you a little secret?
Mm-hmm.
When you have a dog, if you attach it to the leash to your belt instead of your hand, your belt is your center of gravity.
True. Yeah.
So it won't knock you off your feet. It will. If you brace, they can't pull you.
That's a good idea. I never saw that. I used to go like this with him, cross my hands with let's see. Yeah. And that way when he'd pull me around the yard, I'd have 2 hands instead of just one. And he was a great dog, though. He would have been a good service dog and a hunting dog. Man, I mean, he'd go crazy over ducks in the sky. He would just look up there and go, whoa.
Well, Lucy's lab and greyhound, so I understand what you mean about stuff in the sky. If she sees a hot air balloon, she goes freaky. She wants to get the heck out of Dodge. She can't fight that.
I'll leave it to you. You know who I am now. If you find any ladies and guys that want to do, learn, just build you a list and get with me. You got my email, I think, argun1776 @gmail, and we'll set a time aside, and I'll show you step by step. Like I say, you could probably get into reloading. I'm trying to think the price. Now, this is without powder and primers. Primers would cost you, right now, they're $69 on sale at Republic Ammunition for off-brand, which is fine. For 1,000, I think, for $69, and that's a good deal. That's still double what it used to be, but it's still cheaper than CCI tends to be about 100 average, $79 on sale. These are more expensive. So Fiocchi, Gen X, any of those off primers, buy them because they're good. But I'm thinking maybe somewhere between 300 to 500. I'll actually get a thing and write it down for you and see what the expense actually would be, because I'm not prepared actually to do that this morning. But anyway, figure about 400 total maybe to get your stuff you're going to need, plus your powder. Powder will be like, you can start out with a pound. One thing good about pistol, 1 pound of powder, which is $50 average, will load, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to think, where's my phone at? 1,300 rounds of pistol, maybe more. I forget. It's been so long since I calculated it. So 1 pound of powder will make you, when it comes to 9mm, 40, etc., certain cartridges will make you load 1,000 or more. So you can't beat that. So you get the pound of powder. You get your bullets for, say, you can get, like right now I got Acura down here that my brother bought. They're plated bullets. They're not jacketed hollow points or anything. 500 of those were, if I'm not mistaken, $80 for 500, 40 S&W. And they're more.
Backtrack.
Pardon?
I was telling Backtrack, good morning.
Good morning, Backtrack.
I'm sorry to interrupt you like that.
Oh, it's your channel. I try not to walk over you two. So.
Well, C said he wouldn't trust his own bullets that he made.
Yeah, you got to pay attention. You got to, you got to have a protocol in place. I'm from manufacturing most of my life, so I've been in charge of quality control. So you need to get a flashlight. You can't do double charges because a double charge in a pistol round will blow your gun up and could injure your hand. Yeah. Also, what they call a squib load. If you're at the range and you're shooting, say, a 38, and you hear it go poof, and something sounds like a weak load, that's probably your primer going off, and you had no powder in that round. Well, what happens is that primer sometimes can push that bullet down the chamber, believe it or not, because it can go bang too, just not as loud as the gunpowder. And what you'll do, you'll get a bullet behind it, and it'll go in behind the bullet stuck in the barrel, and it'll blow the barrel up in the gun. And you can get injured. Now, I know people it's happened to, they didn't get injured, and you see it on YouTube a lot. But you can't afford on pistol rounds to do what they call double charges. And it's a little harder on rifle rounds. You typically won't do double charges because the case won't hold that much. So they're good. But just be safe. It's really a simple thing to learn to reload. It's not that complicated. And
have a blessed day, Joseph. And get
howdy,
those
Joseph.
brakes fixed.
Well, I used to do a lot of, I'm a former mechanic in my 20s. I used to be a mechanic, general service advisor. And then, so cars was my thing growing up. I'm mechanically inclined. If you're mechanically inclined, I was going to say you probably learn more reloading quicker, but even then, anybody can learn reloading. My great-grandson, I taught him to decap and put powder in a round here when he was 6 years old, I think. And he was pretty good at it. So it's actually not hard and complicated. Like right here, like I got let's see, this is 9mm, 115 grain XTP hollow point bullets. I got 100 of these rounds for, I think at the time, $23 online. Now, self-defense round hollow points, now they're going for, cheap versions, probably 20 something bucks for 20 of them. But I can make 100 of these, and my brother, I got 200 of these. So I can make 100 of these. So, and if you want to make self-defense ammo, well, you're talking about cheap compared to the store. You can save a lot on defense rounds. And it varies what you save on certain calibers. Certain calibers you save a lot. Certain calibers you don't save quite as much. So I've got 200 of these I got to load for my carry gun. And I'm loading 500 rounds of bang, bang, plink ammo for the range and whatever else he wants to do with them, store them up for hard times. And I'm loading him 100 rounds of 40 S&W for his self-defense rounds. And
good morning, Sue.
Self-defense rounds are very expensive. The Bud Files, I've seen them around.
Yeah,
before.
Sue, she's good people.
Mm-hmm. I think he did a live. I think I jumped in a side chat once or twice. Seems like I remember.
Says he's seen the squib thing happen at their range.
Yeah. Squib load can get you injured. So when you reload, you want to put your certain things on your left, move them to the right. Use baskets like right here. I go. Let me show you. There's a lot of things I do for safety. I buy these little baskets at Dollar Tree for 2 of them now for $1.25. I do that, and I use what they call let me see. I call it my processing checklist. It says brass processing. So I got a record of everything I do to what I'm doing in that basket. And then you transfer this, like say, if this turns out to be a good round, you transfer this to a book, a spiral, and you keep your records because believe it or not, you may find the perfect round, go to the range and shoot it and go, oh, great, I'm going to go home or next week, I'm going to do that round again. And you didn't write it down and you don't know what you did. So you want a book or you want to use this for I advise this, and these are PDFs. A friend on YouTube community, firearms community, sent them to me PDF. And I enlarged them. So it's like a checkoff list. They'll say clean brass, check mark, deprime. If I don't if they're not needed, I put an X there. Resize, remove sizing lube, swage primer pocket. You only do that with a crimson 5.56 brass. Trim to length. Chamfer neck, but you don't have to do trim to length on pistol rounds. So that saves you some money, but always be safe. Get your system up and get you a flashlight. And if like right here now, even though I've been doing it 10 years, if I'm talking in say if I was loading live in a live stream or just sitting here, and even when I'm not, if I'm unsure about that round, I'll actually look in the brass and see my powder to make sure I didn't double charge. And you can do that with a little flashlight. So you want a quality control system in place, and that way you don't injure yourself. And that's part of the safety there. And get your books. Books, they're a little high now. Get you three or four books. I advise reloading manuals. And check each manual. Get an idea. And the thing about reloading, you can start out with a very mild charge. You can do it so mild, Verna, you can just take a 38 and it'll just be almost like a air gun. It's called subsonic. So like if you had a rifle, for example, a 308 rifle, you could actually you can buy them subsonic now, but you used to couldn't. You can actually load it to low pressures and you just go out there and shoot, and it's like shooting almost a 22, except it's a big round. So you can do a lot of things when you reload that you can't ordinarily do if you went to the store and bought the stuff.
Uh-huh.
Believe it or not, I can load rounds. Even though I was in manufacturing, I can load rounds way better than what Hornady's a big company. They got big machines. But because of the nature of manufacturing, there's sometimes they'll slip in. Little things will be wrong. I can keep my ammo is actually, if I measure it and pay attention, my ammo is better than what I can buy.
Yep.
So that's about it. My channel's about that. I do live streams, sometimes just talking about stuff, and I can talk about anything. Prepping. I'm interested in prepping, canning. I bought me a food saver a few weeks ago, and I've been buying meats for my pellet grill, and I've been using that vacuum sealer. It's cool. I like that. So,
Howie, you want to type in that code again?
Can you reuse brass from? Yes, you can, Andy Rabbit. Yeah, and that's what saves you. We call brass if you're a reloader, we call it gold. The good thing about going and shooting, the more you go, most people will give you their brass at the range. When I walk into the state range, I go, it's like maybe say 12, 15 bays. I go, anybody don't want their brass after, when you get through today, I'll take them. I'm a reloader. And you'd be surprised. People walk up to you and just hand you 20, 100, 200 rounds of brass. And you take it home and you can use it like maybe 10 times, like 308, for example. You can load it 15 times, 18 times. So there goes your brass. It's free at that point. That's savings too. So like this right here, I bought this for $17 Starline for 100, which is very cheap, almost 18 at Bass Pro. Starline is a very good company, very good prices. I can load this, if I don't load it hot, probably 10 times. Yeah. So I can make hundreds and hundreds of rounds. So that saves it. So basically at that point, I'm glad you asked that, Andy. At that point, all you cost is the primer and your powder. Because your brass is already there. The more you go to the range, you keep getting brass. Pretty soon, you may have buckets of brass. So that helps you. Yes, that was a good question. Very good. Every time I go to the range, I get, the last time I took home everything you can think of, 30, 270. I even had the range officer, he ordinarily, the state, usually if the brass hits the ground at a state range, it's theirs. And I said, well, what do you do with it? He said, we send it off and we get gifts. And I said, okay. But believe it or not, he went and gave me some in his hand and gave it to me anyway. So he was a very nice guy. He said, here you are. Here's some 270. I said, okay, thank you. Even though I didn't reload 270. So, but I thank you, Verna, for having me on.
And I thank you for coming on.
It. And I love live streaming. I have got burned out in the past, but I enjoy it. A lot of my streams is like yours. I talk to the side chat a lot, typically, more so than some people probably do in the gun community. But
let me put it this way: to me, the people that come to us are more important, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't get our watch hours or anything else. So you have to show respect to them. Backtrack, you have a blessed day, dear.
Nice to meet you, Backtrack. But I don't do a lot of video content, and I'm trying to change that. I've got a gooseneck now over here that a guy on YouTube that I actually was on our interview. I do interviews. Me and Echo used to, my co-host, and we bring people on like a small channel in the firearms community. But I'm gonna bring on more. I'm gonna do interviews with maybe Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Bring her on, introduce her. Even though most of my audience typically is guys, occasionally, you know, like Verna drops by. Redbird, Freedom Redbird she used to drop by quite a bit. Yeah, Brenda did. And but I got a gooseneck. I can sit here and make a video. And I hate editing, but I can do it. I'm just not great at it.
Well, you know what? You don't have to edit. You can put it raw videos up there, and people appreciate that, mistakes and all.
Mm-hmm. At one time, that's all I did was mostly live. I had a few videos, occasionally maybe 2 or 3 a year. And you don't grow as much when you do live streams, I found out. Even though you're meeting people, you need
Pretty
content.
much, Andy. Yeah,
yeah, it is true.
But see, I am very careful about when I video because of my situation, you know. And a lot of people won't believe it, but I am an introvert that acts like an extrovert.
Wow. Well, good for you. I used to be kind of introverted when I was young, and I decided I didn't like it. So I kind of did what you did. I just got over it. Even my brother says, he said, you used to be shy and all that. But girls would come up to me when I was, 12 years old, 15, I'd turn red. I didn't know what to say. I was so bashful. And I just got over it. I didn't like it. I didn't want to be that person, so I kind of changed. And most of my life, I don't think about it anymore.
Well, me, I'd rather watch people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a people watcher than anything else, you know. Because I would go to a restaurant. My oldest daughter would tell you this too. I'd take her to a restaurant, and while we're eating our snack, we'd sit and watch people, and we would talk about our impressions of the people that we are watching.
I'm a people watcher, but I've never did that. But I do watch a lot. I used when I was single, I'd go out a lot, and I always noticed everybody mostly in the room. So I'm similar.
And this here has a story behind it. Good morning, Sue, at the Bud Bios. Last year at QuailCon, I gave my cooey up and got some rabbits from Andy, but Andy was transporting my cooey back to the QuailCon camping site to give to the family that were getting my cooey. Okay. Well, Steve was helping her unload, and the bottom of the cage came out.
Oh, boy.
Because he wasn't holding it properly. So you heard of a grease pig trying to catch a grease pig?
Yeah, I've heard that saying.
They ended up trying to catch guinea pigs.
Oh, wow. I used to have guinea pigs.
Well, cooey, when you use it as livestock, you call them cooey, because that's what they call them in South America.
Oh, okay.
And if you use them as a pet, then you can call them guinea pig.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
When I was young, in my teens, I bought a white one with pink eyes. This is weird.
Albino.
Yeah, and that joker was so strange that it would stand on its hind legs like a dog in a cage and whistle when you come into the room. Yeah, it would notice you.
Yeah.
And I was stunned at that, It'd just get happy, stand up, and just whistle loud. You could hear that thing all through the house.
Wanting you to come pick it up.
Unfortunately, I really liked that guinea pig. Even my mom did. She went shopping one day and walked in a store, left it in the car on a hot day, and it died. And I told her, I said, didn't you know better than that? You realize, Mom, that you killed the guinea pig. And to this day, I've never found another guinea pig to do that. Most of them want to bite me. After that, I got one in my 20s, and it'd want to bite you. But that little white one, well, you could hold it, and he'd whistle at my mom, my brother, me, anybody that they recognized. They were a trip. I've never seen that to this day, though.
Okay, here's how Andy put it. Difference is guinea pigs are cute, cooey are food.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
I
just
got
like
that.
when you're raising rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some are meat rabbits and some are pets. I gave
Mm-hmm.
away 2 pets out of my litter recently. No,
Mm-hmm.
3 pets. But then I processed 8 of them.
Okay. I didn't even know you could eat. I didn't know people ate guinea pigs
Yeah,
until now.
that they were originally food in
Mm-hmm.
South America.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I
But
did rabbit. You know.
they taste similar to rabbit.
Okay. Yeah. I've had squirrel, rabbit, quail, and my father. Now, he grew up in the Great Depression. He used to make pigeon gravy and pigeons. So people
That's
used to eat
squab, yeah.
pigeons. Mm-hmm. I remember when
Guinea
I was a
pigs are
child,
tasty,
he'd talk
cooey are
about it.
tasty. I mean, in other countries, they eat dogs and cats.
Yeah, I've heard that one. I think Asia you do the dogs. I had a guy work with me. I worked at a corporation contact lens company, and I asked him one day. I said, "Is it true that some of you people eat dogs?" He said, "Yeah, we don't." He said, "Some of our more modern, younger people, we don't do that stuff." I said, "Oh, okay." But he said, "Typically in our culture, yeah." I said, "Wow." Americans like to pet.
Pet food animals up.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, that's why you got potbelly pigs
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I've seen them. I
and
remember
stuff like
seeing
that.
them in the '90s. I thought, well, one ran through my girlfriend's apartment one day next door, and I went, "Oh, that's a cute little rascal." And I had a pet chicken when I was a kid, and my mother took me away, and she divorced my father. And I asked him months later. I said, "What'd you do with my chicken?" He said, "I cooked it."
Tried
I
it.
said, "Wow, you killed my chicken." Me being a kid, I didn't know you cooked. Well, I did a little bit. I think I was 5 years old at the time.
Yeah.
I think my dog's outside. I got to get him in. He'll get anxious and want to start digging holes everywhere. He's a mixed lab. As a foreigner, I told my son, yeah,
You
I
only
eat.
eat 3 kinds of meat.
Mm-hmm. The only meat I won't eat is I'll eat pork. I don't like pork chops per se, but I love bacon. And I have ate sausage. I'll eat rabbit, squirrel, uh, possum. I won't eat. My father, I think, did, but not me. They look gnarly. I've actually had them here at the house, caught them in cages. And my daughter visited me one day, and I had one in a cage, and I dumped it out of the cage and grabbed it by the tail, and I threw it at her while she was going to the car. And boy, you ought to see her scramble. She didn't want no part of that.
Possums get rid of ticks.
I'm hearing some kind of distortion. I thought my dog was in. Pardon my. Almost sound like my electronics were frying or something here.
Ah.
Wow. I don't know what that noise was. I need some new speakers. My speakers are getting. I need a new computer. My computer was built. I built it in probably 2011 or 10. So
Yeah, it's about time for a new one.
yeah. I'm amazed it still works. And the only reason it does, I built it as strong as I could at the time. Very expensive at the time. Oh, I do hear some.
Hey, Moon Boots.
Bear with me a minute. You know what? I think I'm hearing static in a PC. It's almost like something got into it. Hang on. That's worrying me because my electronics go, so does my live streaming.
Could be overheating.
It almost sounds like a liquid boiling in it. That is strange. I've never heard that before. I think the cheapest one I can get for just the tower at Costco's $1,000, $1,100. And if I build one, it'll end up the way I want to build one. It'll cost me $2,000. And I don't want to put $2,000 in. I don't have the money right now. This time.
Yeah, Steve says possums are tasty but greasy. You know what's greasier than possums? Muskrat.
Wow, yeah. I've heard about the possum.
Muskrat is good, And C says it's time to clean your fan.
Yeah, I just blew it out the other day. That's strange. I noticed I almost spilled liquid one day, my coffee into it. It actually hit the fan on the edge of my PC, and I wiped it off. But it's been fine ever since. I actually use a weed blower to blow mine out. Electric weed blower. Just boom. Mm-hmm. It'll blow dust like you wouldn't believe out of it. I could have a fan failing too, but I'll worry about that another time. Just kind of surprised me hearing it.
It is noon, so it's time for me to go because I have to take care of my dog.
Okay. And thank you so much.
Thank you for coming up.
Pleasure. I enjoyed it, though.
Everybody have a blessed day. Don't forget, My Shire is live tomorrow at 7 p.m. And you'll want to watch because you'll get more information about QuailCon. Have a blessed day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.